Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. Joining me in studio, I have Kincaid-South Fork Superintendent Chris Clark. Welcome back to the program, Chris.
Thanks for having me back. It's always a pleasure to come in and shout out for South Fork.
Shout out for South Fork is for me too, I suppose. Now, elephant in the room, we have to talk about it. How have the kids reacted to not having to wear masks anymore?
I think there's some excitement in the air for sure. Our kids have been resilient through the whole thing, done what we've always asked them to do. So we can't ask for anything more from our kids. I think when we finally went mask optional the second day after the court decision or whatever, but I think it just kind of flowed through school. There was some excitement, but not overly like jumping up and down in the hallways and stuff, but definitely smiling faces and everything. And like I said, I think the whole time they just wanted to be at school learning and doing what they needed to do to improve themselves.
Did you see more excitement from the high schoolers and junior hires, or did you see a lot more excitement like from the younger kids?
Sure. Well, I'm in the building with the junior high school, so I see a little bit more of them. So again, there was some excitement in there. The elementary, again, those kids are going to do what we ask them to do. So when you come in and ask them to take the face mask off, at first it was like, "What? Are we okay?" But after that, you start seeing smiling faces, and it just changes the whole mood of the building whenever you have those kind of things. So yeah, overall, it was all of them that had a sense that more of a feeling than more of like expressions.
And how have the staff responded to no longer having to enforce masks?
The staff have come a long way with it. Definitely, we have some that are in support of the mask and they wear them, and it's good for our kids to see some people obviously still supporting mask, and because it is an option that's out there that a lot of people have strong feelings about. So whenever they see role models practicing that and their family wants them to practice, it's good to see those kind of things. So again, our staff's been very good with it. We met with them, all of our stakeholders talked to them about it. They were good with going optional. They thought that was the best way to go for sure. So again, there's both sides of it, and teaching the kids to respect others' opinions. And there's other things out there, and it doesn't have to be arguments all the time about it, but respecting others and respecting their opinions. It's a very valuable teaching lesson that we got out of it.
I would imagine too, with teachers, wearing masks when they so choose, it opens up the conversation for some of those younger kids. Like, teacher, why are you wearing a mask? And it kind of can educate them a little bit
Absolutely. More. And that's what we're all about, educating kids. And definitely when they see those kind of things and they ask questions and do it. I mean, I know I got teachers in the building that don't like the mask mandate, but still wear it. I got teachers that, take it off, obviously, they teach a whole class, but if they're close and individualized, they'll put it on. So we've adjusted to it to the best of our ability to hopefully keep everybody still safe, but educating our kids the best of our ability.
For you as a superintendent, what has this last month been like trying to navigate the rulings, different court rulings and all that, and then we'll move on?
It's kind of been a real bit of a relief that we kind of had all this stuff. Yes, it's been crazy and never real firm concrete. But what I do know is our board from the start has always been firm and concrete about where they stand. From the start of the school year, we put in a plan that had mask optional. The only reason we went was because of a mask mandate. So once the door opened to local control, I knew our board was pretty firm about where they stood. We did take a day to get all stakeholders involved and find out where they were at and talk to people. But, we weren't involved in the lawsuit. But once we got a chance, we gave our people the opportunity to speak locally in what we felt was best for our kids at the local level. So we did that. We went mask optional right when we got the chance to after evaluating it, and we've been rolling since. We just went mask optional on the bus yesterday as we got word that the CDC posted that school buses are exempt now as well. So,
all right, I think that's enough about COVID for now anyway. We'll see if that returns as a theme later. I'm knocking on wood, hoping it doesn't.
And what I will say, if it does, our community, our students, our faculty, everybody's been supportive of doing what we can, because the number one goal is those kids are in person learning. and we've really set that and made that our focus, and we've accomplished it for a long time now.
Coming up, it's spring-ish, right? We're March.
Yeah,
I equate it
weather
to
tells us
spring.
that.
Right, exactly. It's not really spring. We're technically in winter, whatever,
Yeah.
right? But with spring, you have state testing coming up here. Talk a little bit about that. Are you looking forward to seeing where your students stack up?
Absolutely. I mean, everybody talks about state testing, the stuff. It's something we have to do on a regular basis. Now, is it the whole picture that is drawn out for the student? One sample doesn't tell everything about the student, and sometimes we value the one test way too much. But at the same time, it does show us and give us data to kind of focus on and look at what we're doing with our kids. This year's focus for our kids has really been, where are they at from the start of school? What do we do to meet their needs? How are we doing that? So we've been collecting data the whole time. Hopefully, this state testing now, kids, we've put a priority on testing and scores, and we've analyzed their scores with them, talked to them where they're at and everything. So hopefully, this gives us that snapshot to really shine to where we're at, and our kids step up and do well on it, so we can see the improvements that we're seeing on a regular day in school, because our kids are phenomenal. I heard a teacher talking in the hallway the other day about reading levels at their grade level, and how they've climbed almost 20% in just the short amount of time we've had this year. So hopefully our state testing can back up some of the local data that we have. And people say, how is this going to affect us all in the long term and everything else? But all we can deal with is what we got in front of us right now. And as long as we're looking at where they're at and how to keep improving and getting better, that's all we can ever do as we look to let kids attain success at South Fork.
In normal times, you mentioned 20, you've seen something about 20% higher in reading level. Is that normal, or do you feel like that's accelerated?
I would say that's a pretty good number. Anytime a teacher could put that on something that they're spewing out with data and stuff. But obviously, data can go different ways. But the main thing is you're seeing improvement. That's what we want to see. If we're sitting there and kids aren't moving forward, we're not doing what we need to do. I don't care if it's 80% moving to 90%. If in our case it was lower than that, you know you can have bigger jumps when you're lower. Definitely, it's easier to do that, but at the same time you still want improvement. That's what you want. That's where we go. And seeing that, and also the kids see the success when you talk to them about it, when you're having conversations about them. Man, you just jump 2 reading levels. That excites kids, anytime they have success. So the more you can do that with them, the more pride they take in their test scores, the more they work on them, the harder they do on them and try for them.
How do the kids respond to IAR, or whatever the testing is, the name of each year? I know it changes a lot.
Yeah. In the past, it was hard. Your kids did what they needed to do. Anytime they have to sit down for a 45-minute session and do a whole test, it can be a long session. You have your frustrating kids that might take a few minutes on it and different things. But again, we view it as a snapshot, and hopefully we prepared our kids all year that this testing is important to us. Please do your best. That's all we could ever ask of you. And again, we'll put the value into it, but again, it's not the whole picture. So as long as kids know it's important to us and we've been working with them, it's not just something out of the blue that we take a week and say, all right, we have to do this. Here it is. Here's some time. They know it's valuable to us. So hopefully they put forth their best effort as they move forward.
Going to reintroduce you, and then we'll continue our
All
conversation.
right.
You're listening to the WTIM morning show. That's Kincaid-South Fork Superintendent Chris Clark. Your stream co-sponsored by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network on this Wednesday. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn mixed, beans lower, and wheat higher. March corn 7.54 and a quarter, up 14 and a half. May corn up 12 and a half, 7.38 and a quarter. December corn 6.15 and a half, down 9 and a quarter. March beans 16.97 and a quarter, down 8 and a quarter. May beans down 11 and a quarter, 16.78 and 3/4. November beans 14.70, down 7. March wheat $11 even, up 98 and a quarter. May wheat up 75, 10.59. July wheat 10.42, up 75. March bean meal 461.80, down $1.90. March bean oil up 26 cents, 77.06. Livestock market at this hour: April live cattle 140.92, up 40 cents. March feeders 157.52, that's up $1.25. And April lean hogs this hour 105.35, down 85 cents. Look at the markets on this Wednesday morning. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio
I
Network.
just got a hold of this, and it's for everyone who's tired of slow or unreliable internet. Something better is finally here. Consolidated has fiber internet speeds up to 1 gig. When you sign up with Consolidated, you get a dedicated fiber internet connection. That means you can run more devices, streaming is light years better, and working from home is a breeze. It also means you never have to share your bandwidth with the neighbors again. I'm definitely going to check it out. Gigify your home at consolidated.com/fiber now.
I'm Sarah Van Huss, Assistant Vice President at People's Bank and Trust in Pana and Taylorville. People's Bank and Trust is proud of their longtime sponsorship of Taylorville High School Students of the Month on the many News Talk WTIM platforms on AM, FM, and online.
Hi, my name is Tori Johnson Pratt. I'm the Junior Senior of the Month. My mother is Mindy Rose. My extracurriculars include soccer, and then my interests and hobbies are art and gymnastics. My future plans would be setting my goals to become a mechanic.
People's Bank and Trust congratulates these Taylorville High School Students of the Month and wishes them the best in their continued education. We put people first at People's Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Now there's an even easier way to get the latest local information, making a difference each week, delivered directly to your email inbox. Sign up today to receive the new TaylorvilleDailyNews.com weekly e-news, delivered to your electronic device every Friday, reviewing the major news stories of the week. And it's free. Just click on the sign up icon on the menu bar at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com, fill out the requested fields, and hit sign up. Local information delivered directly to your inbox every Friday. It's the new e-news from TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Welcome back to the WTIM Morning Show. I'm your host, Avery Cooper. Your stream co-sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first, and Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark. Kincaid-South Fork Superintendent Chris Clark is here in studio talking about spring. Yes, I'm so excited for spring. I understand that you, that Pawnee in South Fork, or I beg your pardon, Kincaid-South Fork. I just had the Pawnee superintendent in just a moment ago. Anyway, the Kincaid-South Fork takes a lot of pride in their sports, albeit partnered with Edinburgh, but still takes a lot of pride in it. What are some examples that you've seen as superintendent of the pride that your district has for the athletics?
Yeah, I mean, we work hard. We do what we need to do. The communities behind us, you know, our football program, we've had ups and downs with it for sure, but you always have the community support out there, and it's a great growing experience for kids. The basketball program at Edinburgh saw some success at the high school level this year, and you know, you get that involvement. Our junior high programs were outstanding this year, at the junior high level, with girls basketball, with boys basketball, volleyball. I know are competing right now and doing a great job. Our cheer, I think, took third at state. So there's some really good things going on, especially at the younger levels. And being in the co-op, we have more of the younger level sports. I know Edinburgh hosts a lot of the spring sports and more of the high school sports. So just going, it's been a nice relationship. Kids getting the opportunity, and they're actually competing on the athletic fields because of those opportunities now.
I know recently that your sports boosters have made a pretty decent donation. What's that for?
Yeah, actually, over the weekend, our sports boosters did a vote to donate a significant amount of money to update our weight room. Our weight room has been, there's some outdated equipment in there, some stuff that I used even when I was a kid in school. I don't want to say how long ago that was,
Don't need
but
to. It's okay.
they come through it and they know that one of the things that's important about any sports program is building a strong strength program. And they're going to invest a lot of money in updating the equipment and everything. And hopefully we get some of those kids in there to build, because strength is you improve through strength. You not only improve obviously your strength, but your flexibility. You can improve injury prevention, different things. And I think it's important to our coaches, and seeing some of that new equipment might enthuse some kids to come in and actually do some of that training, as in the off season we build to hopefully have successful regular seasons. Because as anybody knows, you can't just strap it up when the season starts and be good. You have to put all the extra effort into it and stuff. And this donation from our sports boosters is just one of many things that they do a great deal of for our community and our school.
Who are these sports boosters?
Well, it's just local people. We have some coaches on the board, some different things. The main thing they do is they run a bingo session on Thursday nights. But it's just people volunteering to make sure the sports in South Fork have everything they need to be successful.
Thursday nights at 5?
I
think
first
so?
game I want to say 7.
Okay,
If
my
I
bad.
had
My
it
bad.
6:50, I think it rolls off. But
Got it. Okay.
yeah.
What other sports do you have available for people or for students at Kincaid-South Fork?
In the springtime, we're getting ready. Edinburgh hosts high school baseball and high school softball. And they also host a bass fishing team. We have some kids that do that. Obviously, we have some hunters and fishers throughout our school that really enjoy it and have the opportunity to go out and do that. So those are the 3 spring sports that high school can do. Unfortunately, at the junior high level, there's not any sports that are offered throughout the spring.
How has I understand it's under the Edinburgh name for bass fishing still,
Mhm.
right? How has that program gone? And specifically, how have your kids done in that?
We've had some great kids that have gone through that. I was actually driving down the highway and saw a kid taking his boat out after school yesterday. We have kids that are interested. Obviously, having a really, really nice lake next to our community helps out in becoming fishermen. But again, it's part of our culture. It's part of our kids' thing. So yeah, it's a great opportunity for them to get out there and do.
It's almost like having a school lake in your backyard.
You could say that
Almost.
pretty close.
Right, almost. So we got about a minute left here, Chris. I wanted to give you the opportunity to give your final thoughts or maybe cover something that I didn't get to in this interview.
Yeah, no, I just appreciate the fact that you give us the opportunity to come in here and talk. We do have some really, really good things going on at South Fork. Maybe next time we talk about it a little bit more, talk about our CACC programs we offer for kids, because I am a big component of kids having an opportunity for success. College is not for everybody. So if they can follow that career path, we just have so many great things going on and so many great people as we look to wrap up the year. And I can't sit up here and thank everybody that helps South Fork do the job that we do for kids to obtain success, because everybody's in there is in it for the right reasons and works really hard at it. So thank you all, whether you're community members, staff members, anybody in our district. Thank you.
That is Superintendent of Kincaid-South Fork School District, Chris Clark. Thank you so much for coming on, Chris.
Thank you.
You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show. Your stream co-sponsored by Landmark of Taylorville, where you always do better with Landmark, and People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first.